Alright guys, back with my last video for the day. This is a post by Evan Menzies, and he says, I usually wait for trend lines to develop, but smearing proud Canadians singing thunderous renditions of O Canada in such hyperbolic terms gives me a sense that there may be indeed some new movement. Big week. And basically what I'm going to show you is a video of this loser right here, basically comparing Poilievre to guess who? Donald Trump. Why do they keep doing this? It's all they got. They certainly can't go off their policies or track record. So let's have a look what this moron has to say, and then we'll talk about it after.
We get caught up in the minutia of the campaign, but I do think we need to remind ourselves that it is Trump that is driving a lot of attitudes on the part of voters, and they still haven't figured out how to manage the Trump question, and Trump was on our minds and on our phones and on our television screens all week long. And I think that's the essential part. And then when they are getting a moment of airspace on their own, what is he doing? He's having a Trumpy-like talkback with a female reporter, Poilievre. Or he's holding giant rallies that evoke Trump, feel like Trump, smell like MAGA, and they actually have people with sweatshirts that say, don't believe the polls. Now, there's a confident message. Don't believe the polls. We're not losing. Don't measure the size of our vote. Measure the size of the hall.
Wait. Don't measure the size of the vote? No one's or some people have voted. They haven't counted the votes yet, and most people haven't voted. Polls don't vote. Signs don't vote. People vote. People who show up at rallies are voting. That doesn't mean Pierre's going to win because he's getting big rallies. It just means that his voters are more enthusiastic. But still, this whole, oh, it's like MAGA, it's like Trump, this Trumpy response, Trump. I mean, these guys, they're obsessed with him. Well, what else are they going to go on? Their policies? Pfft. Any good policies that they've dropped, like reducing the carbon tax to 0%, was Pierre Poilievre's idea. Well, his idea is actually to get rid of it altogether. Carney pretended to get rid of it altogether, but he didn't. He just dropped the rate to 0 temporarily. This moron with his blue glasses. Why do they always... They all look the same. They're just... You can see the soy estrogen energy coming out of their body. It's so ridiculous. Come up with an actual argument. Trump isn't an argument. Saying he's just like Trump, even though he's not, and there's so many examples of it. I'll give you a few. Trump wants to build a wall. Does Pierre? Trump left marijuana laws up to the states. Is Pierre leaving those laws up to the provinces? Is he going to change those laws? No. Are we going to have a Roe versus Wade type situation here in Canada? No. Pierre Poilievre has said he's not touching the abortion laws. How is he like Trump? Oh, because he's mean to sometimes, and sometimes he snaps back at reporters. So what? Yeah, the guy's got a backbone. And by the way, as if Mark Carney hasn't snapped back at reporters? Was that like Trump? The rich old white man who dodges his taxes? Isn't that like Trump? What a douchebag.
If this was supposed to be the week where they were making an adjustment and a move, it has not shown up.
I think what's informing a lot, and not to justify it necessarily, Corey, but there are, and I'm sure you've talked to them as well, but there are a lot of conservatives who feel like the modeling that polls are based on is based on, for example, 2019 and 2021, that the Poilievre base is not the Sheeran O'Toole base. It's not fully being captured. Obviously, the manifestation of that has differed at some of these rallies, but there are thousands of people coming out. And they're saying, like, how do you, those two things are difficult to reconcile. Are they at all difficult for you to reconcile?
I don't think so. I think that there's a very hardened activist component to the Conservative Party, particularly under Poilievre. And we've seen it since this leadership campaign. He's tapped into, I think, a lot of the frustration and animosity that has been out there on a range of issues. But, if you're looking at his leadership campaign, the size of the rallies that he was getting in, I think were unprecedented.
Yeah, that's true. Because he's way more popular than Andrew Scheer and Aaron O'Toole ever were. Way more popular. And that's why they're doing the Trump thing, because they're scared. It's all they have. What else are they going to say about him? Oh, he hasn't voted on anything in 20 years, which is garbage. They have to go with Trump because they're scared and they need people to be scared of Trump. I see it in my comment section all the time, these liberal sheep. Oh, he's a Trump Jr. Jesus Christ, like, it doesn't even make any sense. Because he's much more popular than any conservative for at least the last 10 years. They're scared. That's why they dropped a bunch of stop the steal buttons to try to sway public opinion. That's why loser pollsters like Frank Graves, who said he has a personal vendetta against Pierre Poilievre, was the one who started coming out with all these polls saying the liberals are winning all of a sudden. Guy literally said he was going to do whatever he can to stop Pierre Poilievre. Well, what can a pollster do? Create fake polls to manipulate the public, and that's exactly what ECOS is. It's a fake polling industry. They're trying so hard to manipulate the public. They're not doing that because they think they're up in the polls. If they really believe that they're up 8, 9, 10 points in the polls and they're going to win a majority, then why resort to these pathetic manipulation tactics? Why are they so worried? Why do they have to keep going on the Trump thing? Because they got nothing. And they're scared and they're getting desperate. By the way, before I made this video, there's also some breaking news coming out about the RCMP writing an open letter to Mark Carney. If you don't know who Moose on the Loose is, go check out his channel. I don't know if I'll be making a video on it. I certainly won't be tonight. I haven't had the time to do the research on that, but apparently there's not much research to be done, as there was an open letter and you just have to read it. Some interesting names on that list. And you'll know more what I'm talking about. So go check out Moose on the Loose's channel. And he reads the whole document for you. So it'll be very interesting to see how Mark Carney tries to dodge his way out of that one tomorrow. But either way, let me know what you guys think. Please don't be shy. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really helps grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.